Have you ever wondered why some new mothers, instead of basking in the joy of childbirth, seem to be in a state of persistent sadness and despair? Welcome to the world of postpartum depression, a common mood disorder that affects women after childbirth. It's a reality that can be as overwhelming as it is misunderstood. Postpartum depression isn't just a case of the baby blues, a term used to describe the mild mood swings and weepiness that many new mothers experience. It's a deeper, more persistent condition that can last much longer and have severe implications if not addressed. It's characterized by symptoms like enduring feelings of sadness, irritability, loss of interest in once enjoyed activities, and difficulty bonding with the baby, among others. Understanding this condition is the first step towards lending a helping hand. So let's delve into the signs and symptoms of postpartum depression, enabling us to better understand and support those going through it. In today's discussion, we will delve into the signs and symptoms of this condition, so you can better understand and support those going through it. One of the most noticeable signs of postpartum depression is a persistent feeling of sadness, hopelessness, or emptiness. These feelings aren't your typical baby blues. They're far more intense, and they stick around, creating a constant cloud of despair that can make even the simplest tasks seem insurmountable. This isn't just about having a bad day or feeling a bit overwhelmed. It's a sadness so deep it feels like you're drowning, and no matter how hard you try to swim, you just can't seem to reach the surface. It's an emptiness that makes you feel disconnected from the world around you, as if you're watching your own life unfold from a distance. And it's not just the emotional toll that's concerning. These feelings can interfere with a mother's ability to care for her baby, making the already challenging task of parenting even more difficult. This overwhelming sadness isn't just a phase, it's a sign that something more serious might be happening. Another key sign of postpartum depression is unexplained mood swings and irritability. It's like being on an emotional roller coaster, where one moment you're at the peak of joy and the next, you're plummeting into frustration or anger. These shifts can be stark, sudden, and seemingly without reason. Imagine a mother who's usually calm and composed, finding herself snapping at minor inconveniences, or a woman who's typically cheerful, suddenly bursting into tears at the slightest provocation. These are not the typical baby blues. They're intense, they're disruptive, and they can strain relationships, not just with the baby, but with everyone around her. This heightened irritability can make everyday tasks feel overwhelming, adding to the mother's stress and feeding into a vicious cycle of emotional instability. It's important to remember that these aren't character flaws or signs of a bad mother. These sudden shifts in mood are more than just hormonal changes, they're a cry for help. It's also common for women with postpartum depression to lose interest in activities they once enjoyed. Perhaps you've noticed a loved one who was once a voracious reader, now struggling to finish a single page, or a friend who used to relish painting vibrant landscapes can't seem to pick up the brush anymore. These are not mere changes of hobbies, but rather telltale signs of a deeper issue at play. This loss of interest can isolate the mother, leading to feelings of loneliness and despair. It can feel as if a veil of gray has fallen over the world, dulling the colors and muting the music of life. The things that once brought joy and excitement seem to have lost their luster, their appeal. But remember, you're not alone in this struggle. There are countless others who have walked this path and emerged stronger. When joy gives way to apathy, it's time to reach out and seek help. One of the most heartbreaking symptoms of postpartum depression is the difficulty in bonding with the baby. This bond, the ethereal connection between mother and child, is often perceived as automatic, a given. It's the unspoken language of love, communicated through tender kisses, gentle touches, and soothing whispers. However, postpartum depression can cast a dark shadow over this beautiful dance. It's like trying to reach out through a thick fog, your hands grasping at the elusive connection that seems just beyond your reach. This can manifest as a feeling of detachment, a sense of indifference, or even irritability towards the infant. Remember, this isn't indicative of a lack of love or an absence of maternal instinct. It's the depression speaking, not the heart. It's the uninvited guest at the party of motherhood, casting a pall over the celebrations. A struggle to connect with the new bundle of joy is not a failure. It's a sign that the mother needs support. There are other signs of postpartum depression that are equally important to recognize. Beyond the previously discussed symptoms, postpartum depression can manifest in various other ways. Changes in appetite or sleep patterns can be one of the first noticeable signs. Some mothers might find themselves eating too much or too little, often without realizing it. Sleep patterns can also be disrupted. While it's normal for new mothers to experience some sleep disturbances due to the baby's needs, excessive sleep or insomnia could indicate something more serious. Fatigue or loss of energy is another symptom that can be easily overlooked. Many new mothers feel tired, but if you're feeling exhausted all the time, even after a good night's sleep, it might be a sign of postpartum depression. Emotional upheaval is a common part of the postpartum period. However, excessive crying or emotional outbursts that seem out of proportion to the situation at hand can be a symptom of this condition. This emotional instability often goes hand in hand with feelings of worthlessness or guilt. Mothers may feel they are not good enough, or they may blame themselves for perceived shortcomings in caring for the baby. Difficulty concentrating or making decisions can also be a symptom of postpartum depression. A new mother may find it hard to focus on tasks or make even simple decisions. This can add to feelings of being overwhelmed and can impair day-to-day functioning. Perhaps the most alarming symptom is thoughts of harming oneself or the baby. These thoughts can be terrifying and are a clear sign that immediate help is needed. No one should ever have to face these feelings alone, and there are resources available to provide urgent support. While these signs may seem daunting, recognizing them is the first step towards seeking help and treatment. It's essential to remember that postpartum depression is not a character flaw or a weakness. It's a serious condition that requires medical attention, and with the right help and support, recovery is entirely possible. Postpartum depression is a serious condition, but it doesn't have to define a woman's experience of motherhood. This journey is a unique one, filled with highs and lows, joy and challenges. It's a journey that takes courage, resilience, and a whole lot of love. We've delved into the various signs and symptoms of postpartum depression, such as persistent feelings of sadness, mood swings, loss of interest in activities once enjoyed, and difficulties bonding with the baby. These symptoms, if persistent and interfering with daily functioning, may signal the onset of postpartum depression. It's important to remember that the baby blues are common in the weeks following childbirth. However, if these feelings persist for more than 2 weeks, it might be something more. It might be postpartum depression. If you or someone you know is experiencing these symptoms, take it seriously. Reach out, seek help. There's no shame in admitting that you're struggling. Quite the contrary, it's a sign of strength and resilience. It's a sign that you're taking control of your own well-being and that of your baby. Treatment options are varied and tailored to meet individual needs. They may include therapy, medication, support groups, and lifestyle changes. Therapy can provide a safe space to express feelings and thoughts, while medication can help manage the symptoms. Support groups offer a sense of community and understanding, and lifestyle changes can promote overall well-being. The key is to seek help promptly. Early diagnosis and intervention are crucial for the well-being of both mother and baby. Remember, postpartum depression is not a character flaw or a weakness. It's a medical condition that requires attention and care. So as we conclude, let's remember this. The journey of motherhood is a beautiful one, but it's also challenging and sometimes overwhelming. But you're not alone. Help is available. Reach out. Seek it. Remember, acknowledging the problem is the first step towards healing. With the right help and support, postpartum depression can be managed, and mothers can fully enjoy their journey of motherhood.